Hey, Joe.
Hey, how are you,
How are you,
sir?
man? Where are we headed?
We're going to go somewhere where we can see God at work
Okay.
in our community.
Love it. That's what we're looking for. How is God at work in our cities? We are documenting and sharing His stories. This is Deidox.
We're headed over to Copperfield Elementary to read to two second graders.
Joe owns a general contractor and construction company with over 300 employees. Some of their work includes the widening of Highway 71, many community subdivisions, and facility parking lots and sidewalks throughout Austin.
The sidewalks and the parking lots and stuff you see here for Deliverance Temple, that's one of our projects.
This is one of your projects right here.
Right, right.
His company also did the work out at Community First, and they're recently working on a project called The Refuge that provides services for women that are coming out of sex trafficking. But what Joe is up to today really has absolutely nothing to do with construction.
There's, I think, about 1,000 volunteers every week that read in different school districts, all the way from Marble Falls to Manor, Round Rock to Del Valley. And so on a typical day, I'm just one of potentially hundreds of people that are going into the schools, volunteering to read to the kids and help them with their literacy problems.
In the greater Austin area, there are thousands of children who are not reading at grade level. Research has shown that if a child is not reading at grade level by the end of 3rd grade, they're 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. And they're also more likely to lack sufficient employment and end up in prison. Up to the 3rd grade, kids are learning to read, and after that, they read to learn. So it's critical that kids can read by the 4th grade so that they don't get left behind in school.
Titus, can you go first, please?
Come on, buddy. How are you this morning? Good. Okay, come on in, let's pick a book. That Curious George, I think that book was a book when I was a little boy your age. Which one you think? Okay.
Something was wrong. 2 balloons had
Drifted. Titus tries to get in a hurry, and I have to kind of like slow him down and try to get him to, just pronounce everything correctly because he wants to just run through it too quickly.
drifted
Off
off the course.
Joe is volunteering with Education Connection, a literacy support program that recruits volunteers to help children improve their literacy. I asked the executive director how Education Connection started.
About 10 years ago, some really amazing pastors within the community went to the education leaders as well as the city and said, how can we best support our world and our community? And a couple things came up, literacy support, dropout prevention, and then prison ministry. And so the church, they're like, well, we can mobilize our congregation. We can encourage them to volunteer.
So as a result of the pastors going to the city leaders and asking how they can help, there are now over 120 churches that have gotten involved. This year alone, more than 950 volunteers will read to over 2,100 students.
All right. Olive.
Olive jumped up to the
Fur
fur
on
her back.
He's more of a slow, methodical reader, but he's excellent with math. Of course, they have to go hand in hand, so if we can help him improve his reading to get to the level that he is with the math, we're golden. Not knowing any better, kept going. This doesn't look too good. Look like
That's
the
what
heart.
shouldn't have told him to go so fast and stop things.
I asked an instructional coach at the school about the impact that Joe's having on the students.
I've seen some growth. I mean, with the consistency is what you want as far as a reader coming in, the volunteers coming in, and each reader has 2 readers and they do 15 minutes. But Mr. Bland, he comes in early, he might do 20 to 25 minutes with each kid because he feels like the more you read with a child, listen to their comprehension, it's better.
They felt happy.
They felt happy.
Some of these young kids, they need a little extra, just investment of time. That's really what we're doing. We're spending a little bit of extra time with these kids.
Of the road.
Good job, Christopher.
After the reading time, Joe and I headed over to Ross's Old Austin Cafe. We wanted to grab some breakfast and continue our conversation about how he sees God at work here in the city. But before we get there, here's a couple quick announcements. First of all, if you're liking this vlog, it would really help us if you'd leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. And second, this video is made possible by our sponsor, the Cajas Digital Agency. They take small business marketing to the next level through customized strategies that increase the visibility of your brand through social media marketing. We're really grateful for their sponsorship. Now let's get back to the conversation. When you think about just this simple act of going and reading, where have you seen God at work in what you've done?
You know, he's building up the teachers, the students. He's encouraging me. He's encouraging the community at my workplace. Yeah, so it's, you know, that's how I see him at work in this.
Couldn't someone just say, well, you're just being good? Like, anybody can go in and just read, and like, why do you see God in that?
Well, because I feel like those are the inherent traits that God puts in all of us.
What are?
Goodness, willing to serve, wanting to help others. It will change your entire life.
Have you seen that in your own life?
Oh, yes. Oh, without a doubt.
Like in what way? I mean, you're a construction guy, you build things, you probably break a lot of things sometimes.
I don't know why I'm so passionate about it. I don't know why I enjoy it so much. It's fulfilling my God-given needs, and that in itself brings more satisfaction than the material things of this world. You know, everything that we do in this world just goes and comes. You know, it's a short-lived, you know, a nice dinner, a vacation. You know, those things are great, but they're not eternal. And when you serve God, you actually get to see a little glimpse of heaven here on earth. You know, it's you know, to see a little guy like Chris light up. You know, his face lights up when he sees me. Man, that's, you know, why else do you get up in the mornings? You know, I mean, that's what, and that's how He created us, and that's what we're here to do.
What have you been learning about God recently?
I've been learning to trust Him more with things such as my business. I had the hardest time for the longest time ever realizing that the King of the universe could run a construction company. I just thought I had to be there. And when I kind of turned the controls over to Him on Monday mornings when I serve, and on Tuesdays when I'm serving, and then during the week if there's opportunities, it's amazing how the people that work for me all rally around and say, Mr. Bland's, he's reading this morning, so we need to go ahead and decide what we're going to do and get to work. Mm-hmm. And they make decisions, they feel empowered, and that's all God's work within our workplace.
Could you maybe speak a little bit to just the reality of the church and believers being in a position to take on a big issue like literacy?
You know that there's an estimated 6,500 kids every school year that are not reading at grade level, first, second, and third grade. What we need is we need the human capital that's in the churches spread throughout our city, and that's going to change our future. And in a very positive way, because there's a huge need for us to step into the space that He would have us step into.